and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the Circle Home Podcast. I'm Victor Whitfield, real estate entrepreneur, and welcome to the Circle Home Podcast. I've got a guest with me today, Sabrina Hosein. I just got that right.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Sabrina is an insurance expert, and we're going to talk about insurance today. Yeah. Sabrina, first, before we go any further, introduce yourself. Tell our audience who you are.
Well, hello, everyone. I am Sabrina Hosein. I am an insurance consultant. I've been doing this almost 30 years, so 3 decades. And really, education is what I do mainly. So that's why I say I'm an insurance consultant. I base my whole agency on education, doing stuff like this, doing seminars, speaking about insurance. It is the most boring topic, but still needed.
All right. Well, what are some of the trends that we are seeing in the market right now?
Gosh, rates.
Yeah.
Rates, right? Rates are one of our biggest things right now, and it's a little fearful for the consumer.
Yeah.
But also for an agent like myself, where I base everything on education. As a consumer, we're looking for cheaper, better.
Right.
A lot of times when people say better, they really mean a better price.
Right.
And sometimes that's not the better thing to do.
No, sometimes it's not. You know, when I was sat down thinking about this, I thought about you came to mind, and I said, that'd be a good thing to do. If a person, I work in 2 spaces. I work in the construction space and I work in the real estate brokerage space, helping people buy, build, and sell homes. Let's talk about somebody who's purchasing a home. Let's break it down to where purchasing, whether you're building a home or whether you're buying a home, let's just call it all a purchase. What does a person need to do when they're getting ready to purchase a home? When they call you up and they say, "Hey, Sabrina, I want to get some insurance." What do they need to have in mind at that point?
So it depends on the situation, because you said building a home, purchasing a home.
Right.
So for the most part, if a client, and I've had a few builders like yourself, who are actually doing the construction, and that's a different conversation with their clients.
Okay.
So I'll tell you both, right? So if you call me up and you're buying a home, whether it's new or whether you're building it, the builder is building it, or it's one that's already built.
Okay.
You need to know loan amount. You need to know year built. All of those things. We would need to know all the basics of the house that I can find.
Okay.
What I want to explain is, as a builder, if I come to you and I say, "Victor, I have this piece of land. I want you to build this house for me."
Okay.
You will have your insurance as a contractor, as a builder, but the insured, the client of yours should have a policy also on that home.
Okay.
Because you don't want to be responsible for that. Now, you have these tract homes, like you have the big builders, they carry insurance in the meantime.
Okay.
But if you're doing these single family, I come to you as whether a prospect, a client, a friend, a family member, "Can you build this house for me?" Then I need to have some sort of builder's risk policy.
Okay, for you, for yourself.
For myself.
Right.
That's
okay.
What you have is to cover you.
Right.
But while you're building that house, if it's burned, tornado hit, something like that, you really don't have much responsibility.
Okay.
As a single builder.
Right.
If you're a tract home builder, that's different.
Yeah.
So, in that case, I always tell my clients, be sure that you have the right coverage. So, back to if they were just purchasing.
Right.
From a realtor. Now you're a realtor. You change your hat.
We switch
And you send them my way. Then I just get all their basic information.
Okay.
Information on the house, information on their loan. And basically, we draw up a quote for them. Once they're happy, the mortgage company is happy, it meets their DTI, debt to income, then we move forward with that. Yeah.
What does, at what point should a person who's looking to purchase a home, not build, but looking to purchase a home, at what point should they reach out to you?
Once they get the loan approved,
okay,
and they find the house.
Gotcha.
I do have people who are shoppers, and they're
Okay.
shopping home and they want to know what the insurance will be for each one because it's not in the same category of the last one.
Okay.
Maybe it's older, maybe it's newer, maybe it's bigger, maybe it's a different zip code, things like that, and all of those things will change the premium. But ideally, once you get your mortgage approved and the realtor, you start looking, because you'll get a pre-approval,
Right.
and then the realtor starts looking for a home. When you decide on that home, that's when you call me.
Okay. So now you said something right there that kind of hit my receptors. Zip codes. Does it matter the zip code that you're in as far as rates are concerned?
Yes.
They have different rate sheets for different zip codes.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So, one of the things that I tell people is doing this for as many years as I've been doing it, I have people will call me sometimes, or clients will come in and say, my neighbor has the same size of house, and we with this and that and the other, and they're paying this or they're paying that.
Okay.
It's a lot of different aspects that come into it. Number one, you as an individual, your credit score, your personal credit score, and then your insurance credit score. A lot of people don't know they have an insurance credit score also.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And so that's based on you. And then your loss history, right? So the houses may be the same, but the rates are different because of those things. And then the last thing is, what type of policy do they have? Is it a replacement cost or is it an actual cash value? So there's so much that goes into it that I could sit here all day long and talk about these things, but I try to educate on those bits and pieces so that they can be aware there are differences, not just insurance companies are charging more.
Got you.
There are differences.
Now you mentioned something there again. It hit my receptor again. When you talked about we have insurance score, credit score, insurance score.
Insurance score.
Okay,
Yeah.
we have that. Does a house have a score? Like, say for instance, a house that was built, let's say 10 years ago, and it's been sold one time, and now another person is getting ready to buy it. Do they have a score for that particular house?
So it's not a score, but it's a loss history. So if that house had claims or incidents before, so it could have had incidents where it was not recorded with the insurance company, or if it was big enough and it was reported to the insurance company, then we need to know that it was repaired. Some insurance company will insure you. Preferred companies like mine, we will need to know that that particular thing that happened 3 years ago or 2 years ago was repaired.
So let me make sure I'm on the same page with what you're saying here. So if say for instance I got paid on this house for a roof, okay, and you come and buy the house, I sell you the house, say 5 years later, but I didn't repair the roof. I just took the money and ran. So what you're saying is that the history of the house, they would not insure the roof for you, or would they insure it for you?
Some companies will not.
Some companies will not.
And just so you know, that is insurance fraud, and people do that. If you don't fix that roof, you collected the money, and you did not repair the roof, or you didn't do the repairs. Number one, if you live in the house, you will not be paid a second time for the claim.
Okay.
The other thing is claims go on a database. So if you think I can leave this company and go here and then file another claim and collect it, all of those things people have done in the past, and so it has now created it a little bit harder for insurance fraud.
Okay.
What happens in that situation is, depending on the damage, how bad the roof is damaged, some insurance companies will say, "I'm sorry, we're not going to give you coverage at all on this house, or you're going to have actual cash value on the roof. It's not going to be replacement cost."
Okay.
So now that buyer is just out of pocket.
So that brings me right into another question that I had. Are there instances of insurance that would cause a deal to fall apart? Say I'm getting ready to buy a house and we're 3 days away from closing, and I'm looking for my insurance, and we talk and we get everything lined up. Can you think of anything that would cause the deal not to close because of insurance?
If you call last minute, like if you call when I told you earlier in this conversation, call as soon as you know this is the house you're going to get, then we have enough time to do all the underwriting. Sometimes, I'm speaking for my company right now. if the roof was changed in 2025,
Okay.
there's a discount with us for a new roof. That's a newer roof.
Gotcha.
You'll have that discount for the first 8 years of the policy. But in
Okay.
order for that discount to stay with you and for us to submit that policy, we need to get some sort of documentation
That it was done.
that showing that the roof was done.
Okay.
Sometimes the sellers don't even know who did it. They don't have the documentation. They don't have the time to look for it. They don't want to look for it. Whatever
Right.
the situation is, you now as the buyer don't have that documentation. So what I provide, and this is a service I provide, this is not all insurance companies, is I have enough partners and resources that I use, and I will send a roofer out there to do a roof age for me.
Okay.
And so they'll go out and do documentation. Sometimes they'll say the roof is 2 years old. We have to take whatever they give us.
Right. Okay.
But that can take time and it'll delay your closing.
Okay.
One of the things that I give a lot of pride on is that we send insurance documents ASAP. I don't ever want to be the reason for you not closing on your home.
Gotcha. I was thinking about that from a situation where when you do the history, the loss history of the house, that a person may have looked at this charming house and not realized that it had a loss history that the insurance company may be averse to wanting to insure or may insure it at a higher premium.
Right.
So, wow.
Sometimes the higher premium is, I have realtors that I have partnerships with, and they'll call me and say, hey, I have a client that's looking at this house. Can you give them a quote? Let's see if there's any claims, anything on there. And sometimes I do that, or sometimes they know of the claim, and then they'll ask me for my advice. I give advice, based on my knowledge.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Freely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not going to touch that right now.
Yeah.
Let's do this for a second. How would you insure your home? Let me go back a step. I tell one of the things what I have done. One of the podcasts I did before, I was asked by one of the people on the panel, how would I build my home if I were going to build a custom home? So I'm going to flip it over on you now. How would you insure your home if you were insuring your home?
So number one, replacement cost.
Okay.
100% replacement cost. So that's going to be a lot for us to explain on this video. That's a whole video on its own.
That's a whole video.
Cost
okay, we'll do that video.
Yes. Replacement cost versus
Okay.
actual cash value.
Okay.
So there are companies out there that you will get some replacement cost.
Okay.
What that means is you're going to be out of pocket some money. So number one, I want a company that's going to insure me 100% replacement cost.
Okay.
Number two is, I don't really want to necessarily keep a low deductible
Gotcha.
because I want my premium to be lower.
Okay.
Okay, so I will use my insurance for more catastrophic things,
Okay.
not little leaks or little this or little that. Fire, a huge water damage, a hail damage, tornado. Those are the things. Now, would I have said this to you 20 years ago? No.
Right.
Because deductibles were $500 and insurance was way cheaper, and those kinds of things. So that's based on then. Today, we want to keep our premiums low. The other thing is, if I have a loan, of course, the house have to be insured for the loan amount or replacement cost.
Right.
If I don't have a loan, and I want to touch on this because a lot of times people will purchase homes cash. I do have people that purchase homes cash.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, well, I don't really need much insurance on it. So my question is, if you just bought this, let's just say $200,000 home.
Right.
And you decide, I'm self-insured. I'm not going to do any insurance on this because I don't have a loan.
Right. Okay.
My question to you is, if this house should burn to the ground, do you have $200,000 to rebuild that house?
Right now.
Or as a builder, do you have $150,000 to rebuild that house?
Right now. Right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you don't, then
insurance.
you need to transfer that risk to the insurance company and pay a small premium in case something should happen. I had one gentleman one time, just to tell a quick story. I always use fire because I've had 3 clients with fires in my almost 30 years of doing this.
Okay.
And so I always use fire as an example when I do a review on a home. He's like, well, my house will never burn. I'm like, how do you know your house is never going to burn? He goes, I'm telling you, my house is not going to burn. And I'm like, okay, well, in case it does, then what are we going to do?
Yeah, what are we going to do?
Here's the insurance.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
That answered the question. That answered it. But it dovetailed me right into another question that I had. You literally answered it, I think, already. For smaller claims, do you, not as an insurance person, as a person who, as you said, 20 years ago, smaller claims, would you recommend they, I guess, for lack of a better term, self-insure on those or file a claim?
So, as an insurance consultant, I cannot ever stop you from filing a claim.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Let's make that clear.
Right.
Yeah.
As an educator, I will say, if you can carry some of the risk now, carry the risk now. The reason for that, it will keep your premiums a little bit lower.
Okay.
Because we all know premiums are ridiculous right now.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Premiums are so high. We have rates that people, especially my senior citizens, they cannot pay these kinds of rates. So I always advise, one of the things I tell my clients is, call me before you file a claim. Because a lot of times when they file a claim, it might be less than the deductible amount. Claims stay in a database.
Yeah.
Now we paid zero because it's less than your deductible amount. You go somewhere to shop insurance and that's against you. Yes.
Okay.
And that makes it worse. A lot of people don't realize that a zero paid claim is worse than a claim that was we paid $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Because zero paid claim means that first scenario you gave me, did I take the check and run? Did I not do the repairs? In this case, zero paid.
Okay.
Did I not do the repairs?
Did you not do the repairs?
Yes.
Okay. So that also flags that home history.
Correct.
Oh wow.
So that goes back to that first question.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot of information. I would have never known that. I would have never known it. When you mentioned that about a house having a history, I thought about it to ask that question when you mentioned we have history. So I'm like, well, common sense would almost say that if you got history here, they're going to probably have history on the house.
It's like a car, right?
I was just go ahead. You took the words out of my mouth. Go ahead.
Carfax.
Yeah, just like the Carfax. Wow.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you can think of that you would want to tell people who are getting ready to insure a home, or whether they're purchasing it, or whether they're building it? Is there anything you can think of that you want to tell them?
Honestly, my number one thing is take the time to talk to your insurance agent.
Okay.
A lot of times what I find or what I see is when people are building a house or buying a house and they're going through the realtor, the mortgage company, this, that, or the other, they don't want to take the time to do the insurance because the mortgage company said, we need your proof of insurance.
Right.
That's all we need. We need that for closing. And they're in a hurry to get that.
Okay.
So take the time to really try to understand what you're getting and don't just get the easiest thing. Also, one of the things, the easiest thing is sometimes the mortgage company will say, oh, here's a quote.
Okay.
When they come to me, if they did that for the first year, two, whatever, they don't know who the insurance company is. They don't know who to call. They don't know where the paperwork is. Oh, I've never gotten a policy because they never paid attention. They don't have a relationship. And so if you don't have a relationship with your agent, then who do you know? Who do you call when there's a situation, right? One last thing to that is keep it all in one place. Okay. I've had people that said, well, no, I want to put my business here. I want to put my auto here. It's easier. Guys, if you wake up 2 o'clock in the morning and realize your house is on fire, you are not going to remember which one of the insurance companies to call. But if you have a relationship with your agent, you are definitely going to say, oh, it's Sabrina. Let me call her. I have her cell phone number.
Right. I got her number.
Yes.
She's on speed dial.
Exactly. So just take the time to understand your insurance, understand what you're paying for.
Okay.
You know, sometimes we say, we all know sometimes cheap is not the best thing, right? Sometimes it is okay.
Sometimes it's okay.
But it's not the best.
When you're dealing with a commodity.
Right.
And insurance is not a commodity.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, it could be classified as a commodity, but in reality it's not because it's dealing with life-altering scenario.
Right.
Yeah, and anytime you got a life-altering scenario, you want to be protected to the best of your ability that you can.
Exactly.
So, I'm like...
And then your home is your biggest investment.
Most people.
Yeah.
Their home is their biggest investment. Yeah, I'm one.
Yeah.
I don't have an investment bigger than my home.
Right.
That's the biggest one I've had.
Definitely.
And so, I mean, I'm like, okay. Is there anything else you can think of you want to add before we close?
Choose your builder. Choose your builder carefully.
Yeah.
I have had, again, I've been doing this for long, right? So
Okay.
I haven't seen it all, but I've seen a lot.
I tell people the same thing.
Yes, I've seen a lot. And so sometimes you go for the cheaper and you end up, I have clients that go for the cheaper roofer guy and then they end up spending 2-3 times more.
You know, Sabrina, that's one thing that I tell people. Early in my career as a builder, I came from retail, so I had a philosophy that I'm going to try to win everybody's business. But I realized after a few years in this business, 20 to be exact, that everybody is not compatible with everybody. I had a mentor that told me something. He said, find your audience. And there'll be somebody who will be receptive to what you have. Custom home building, and I'm not making this a deal about custom home building because I did that one. But custom home building is, like you said, a relationship. It may not be a relationship at the level that an insurance agent would be, an insurance rep would be, or consultant. But you have to understand the process.
Right.
And for years, if people didn't want to go through the process, I would still try to work with them.
Yeah.
And it was tragedy. It was tragic on my part on more than one occasion, because when you have people outside of the process and things happen as they will, how do you bring them back to normal?
Yeah.
You don't have a way to get them back to normal. And that came really crystal clear during COVID.
Right.
COVID made it so clear. And at that point, I said, you know what? Here's our process. Here's how we do it. And that's it. If they want to go through the process, then we can work. That doesn't mean that they're going to use us at the end of the day. It's just a process that we go through to help them build their portfolio.
Right.
And anybody who's building a custom home, you have to have a portfolio. The bank will not talk to you unless you have a portfolio. And that includes all the costs to build your home and all the things that go along with it. So with that said, I'm going to leave that right there and just say that you're absolutely right. You have to have somebody who understands what they're doing, they understand what you're doing, and they all understand the assignment. You don't have to necessarily like that person, but if they got a process that can help you get a good project done, you need to use them. You need to use them. You absolutely do. Tell us how to contact you.
So, of course, I'm going to give this website. It doesn't have anything to do with insurance, but I also have some other things that we didn't talk about.
Okay.
And I'm housing everything under this. So you can reach me at, of course, my insurance office, phone number 972-288-1021. Or I would love for you guys to check out my new website. It's SabrinaHosein.life. My first name, my last name, .life. And it has everything I do, everything that's coming, and also my other businesses. This beautiful studio we're in right now.
Absolutely.
This is also mine, and so you will have a link to go check it out, see all the other, areas that you can come record, and then, of course, my insurance agency. If you have questions, I am an insurance consultant. Feel free to just call me. There's no obligation. And then the last thing I want to say is insurance is not a ripoff. It really isn't a ripoff. When you hear people on the television after there's a catastrophe, get on there and say, oh, the insurance company didn't pay anything. It's because you didn't have the coverage.
Right.
It's because you didn't know, you didn't ask, the agent you have didn't explain, whatever the situation is, or you wanted the cheapest. You just didn't have the coverage. So get a good insurance agent. Take time with insurance. I know it's the most boring thing you'll ever talk about, but it's the most important thing if you're purchasing a house.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to dovetail on just what you just said right there. It's always when you get somebody who's a price shopper along.
Yes.
Those are the ones that will give you the biggest headaches. and I don't want to go negative here, so let me rephrase that. You have the biggest challenges with people who are price shoppers alone.
Yeah.
They don't understand that it's more to this than price.
Right.
And
right.
yes, I'm not made of money. I'm not a wealthy person. I'm not going to sit here and say that you should not price shop. You should understand the correct way
yes.
to price shop. There is a correct way to do it. And but spell your name for the people for the website where when they go out there.
So they can find it?
Yeah, so they can find it there.
So my first name is simple. It's Sabrina, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Okay.
Sabrina. The last name is Hosein. So it's SabrinaHosein.life. Hosein. I have to always spell that a couple times because it's pronounced Hussein.
Okay.
And so everyone wants to spell it with a U.
With a U. There you
There's
go.
no U in Hussein.
Yeah, no U there. And that's why I asked you to spell it.
Yeah.
And so they'll make that mistake.
Right, definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. But also thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, hey, it was a pleasure.
For wanting to discuss this.
It's a pleasure. I'm glad you took the time out of your schedule to do it. And
yes.
I want to thank Sabrina for doing this. I want to give y'all contact information. It's Circle Homes Builder, CIRCLEHOMESBUILDER.com. And we have a YouTube channel, which is Circle Homes. You can check us out on YouTube. And the phone number is 903-926-7609. And with that said, I want to thank Sabrina for coming on. You have any last things you want to say before we get out of here?
I think we did enough for today.
I think so.
We gave them enough information.
Yeah, boy, they're going to be bored in a minute.
Yes.
Y'all can see we having fun, right?
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think we have fun.
Yeah, we did.
Because we love educating. So.
Yeah, there you go. We're going to do some more of these. We can't say when, but hey, just check out the YouTube channel. Again, Circle Homes. And check us out. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. It's under Sabrina Hosein.
It's under Sabrina Hosein.
You can find me under that name on everything and everywhere you want to.
Okay. So. All right. So that's the good thing about it. Check her out. Check us out. And if there's anything that I can do for you or anything she can do, feel free to hit us up.
Definitely.
And with that said, we'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in.